Well, we are at the Imagination Station. I'm joined with Chief Scientist Carl Nelson. Looks like we're getting ready for New Year's Eve.
We are. We're going to show you the proper way to open a bottle of champagne.
Okay.
Okay. Now, before we get to that part, you know, champagne bottles are actually a really beefy bottle. And, you know, because of the secondary fermentation that creates the carbon dioxide gas inside the champagne, the original bottles, when they first discovered or developed champagne, would burst. So they had to keep making the glass bigger and bigger and bigger. And one of the critical things with any sort of glass that comes out of a mold, here's like a little glass mold, right? So this little guy actually is formed in there because these two pieces come together, they drop a glob of glass down in there, blow some air, and then
there you go.
And there you go.
Voila.
Now, one of the artifacts of this sort of process, and you see that little seam on the side?
Yes.
You can probably feel it
too.
If you look at a lot of bottles, even the champagne bottles, there'll be like a little seam on the side. That's a weak spot on the glass. And in fact, if you follow that seam up to the very tippy top up here, it's called the annulus, that is the weakest spot on the bottle.
Oh, I think we're gonna find out.
We're gonna find out, yeah. So hold on to that thought. So before we go that route, let me show you. The safe way to open a bottle of champagne is to, you know,
take notes, right?
Take the cage off and point it away from you. There's about 90 psi of pressure inside the bottle. That's 3 times what's in your car tire. If you take that psi and apply it to the size of the cork, there's almost 36 pounds of pressure coming off, or could be pushing that out. The distance between there and your eye is like a foot. You won't be able to blink fast enough to protect your eyes.
Okay.
So we got the safety gear on.
Yes.
But the way to do this is actually just put your hand on the cork and twist the bottle. Keep the cork contained, and
The suspense.
the suspense, right.
There you go.
Now the other thing you noticed is I had it in ice. We don't get that overflow. You paid good money for all that carbonation. You don't want that spray.
Oh, no, we don't want that.
No. You paid good money for that. Okay, so that's how you open it safely. Now we're going to step it up a little bit differently. We're going to do it perhaps a bit of an unsafe way. So
don't take notes.
Well, all precautions, you know. So I'm going to have you go ahead and remove the cage. Just go ahead and twist the cage off. And we're going to go way back to the days of Napoleon.
Whoa, all right.
Where they would use sabers to actually break the top of the bottle off.
Okay,
now,
I'm ready for it.
Okay, we're going to find, can you find the seam there? Seam is right here. So what I'm going to have you do, you're going to aim away from the videographer. You're going to hold this in your left hand.
Okay.
You're going to find the seam, and you're just going to slide.
I'm going to do that?
Oh, yeah. Of course.
All right.
Yeah. I mean, I've done it before.
Carl, I hope you know who you're working with here.
Oh, no, you'll be fine. Now, you could use this, or I got a brand new one that might work a little more effectively.
Oh, boy.
Your choice. A little more flair, or...
Whatever one won't cause injuries. Well, you
try this. You try this one. So, okay, so go ahead and do it. Pick up the bottle, hold it in your left hand.
Okay.
And, yep, there it is right there. Okay. And what you're going to do is you're going to flip it the other way.
Okay.
So if you're doing this with an actual knife, you don't use the sharp edge, use the blunt edge. Slide in one fluid motion.
And then
and just keep going. And if you
all the way to the...
Boom,
here?
and just keep going. Yep.
But what if nothing happens?
Something will happen. I get no. Yep. Here, twist this right. Up a little bit. Up a little bit.
Up a little bit. All right.
3, 2, 1, go. Give it a try. It'll be fine. One more try.
Wait, is this a dud?
It's not a dud. It's not
Hold on.
You got it. Harder.
Am I doing this right? Harder. I'm breaking it.
That's okay. Here. Wait. Let's twist it around the other
Maybe
way.
You don't
Let's use the other seam.
Other seam.
Okay, wait. One tip. When you do it, you're going to bring it down, boom, and just follow straight through. Boom, straight down. You got it. You got this. You got this. Ah, there we go. All right. That's okay.
Only took 5 tries.
That's okay. So here's a towel for you. So it took a few tries for us. We kind of shook the bottle up a little bit, which probably got that champagne sort of popping out. But you know what? I've got a really cool high-speed footage here of what happens when this pops off. And you're going to see when the blade comes down to the end, just like you did. This is very sharp. So when the blade hits, it cracks it off, and it actually carries away the cork with the top of the bottle.
How about that? Oh, and the cork's perfectly...
the cork is still contained inside.
You can still use it.
Any glass that may have broken off typically gets blown out. So if you're to serve this, you know, you could Now, if you do try this at home, do be careful. Obviously, there is some danger involved,
And make sure you practice.
and you might want to practice, which is why we got the really expensive stuff
All
here.
right,
But,
well, cheers.
all right,
Happy
New Year.
And that's how you imagine it.